All right, hello and welcome. Today we're going to cover the 5 most powerful and incredible mindset shifts to help you no longer care about others' opinions. And then I'm going to share with you what I personally believe is to be the golden ticket to overcoming what people think of you, along with some other fun practices to get you free from what people think once and for all. So stay tuned, and if you like what you hear, please like and subscribe. That is the best thank you, and I appreciate it so much. I'd love to talk to you more. So let's get into it. Okay, number 1, people are more concerned about what you're thinking of them than they are about having an opinion of you. They're doing the same thing that you are doing, the same thing that I'm doing. The reality is that people are primarily focused on their own lives, their own problems, their own concern, their own image, whether they look stupid or not as well. And that takes up so much more of their mental space than coming up with criticisms or judgments about you. All right. We as humans, we have this spotlight effect, and it makes us think that others notice and remember our mistakes or our appearance far more than they actually do. Most judgments about you, if any, are just fleeting thoughts that other people forget within seconds or minutes. So maybe you do stumble or something in public, or you do say something dumb, or you sucked at karaoke or something like that. People might laugh or think something, but those thoughts quickly fade away and they're back onto themselves. But it's just programmed in us to think that everybody thinks it's so important because we think it's so important. And I'm going to get more into that in just a second. People are just wrapped up in their stuff. They're guarding their image. They're worried about the same things. So their mind is so much more fixated on themselves and their life than it is about coming up with an opinion of you. So number 2, understand that other people's opinions are about them. They're not about you. People judge others through the lens of their own fears, wounds, and limitations. Their criticism is just revealing their own insecurities or unmet needs. Just like I said about the spotlight effect, we always think in terms of ourselves. So we think about ourselves, we think about how we look up to other people, and we think that the way that we look is as important to them as it is for us, but they're doing the same thing. And so what that thinking does is it creates this lens that we now see everything else through. So even if somebody does judge you, it's not a fair judgment of you. It's through the lens of if they were in those shoes, or their own experiences, or their own insecurities, right? Buddha has this great line. He says, if someone offers you a gift and you do not accept, for whom does the gift belong? And in this context, it's meaning critics and judgments are yours to either accept or discard. Because if someone judges or criticizes, it's coming from their lens and more likely true for them, or at least true in their life, their viewpoints, how they see the world, not you. So it's not something that we should take too personally. If a bird judged a fish on its ability to fly, that fish would live its life thinking it's a fucking failure. So knowing that, can what someone thinks about you really alter your reality? Only if you let it, right? So what does it matter? If you're scared of talking to the girl or being out in front of people or whatever, ask yourself, will this matter in 10 minutes? 10 months? 10 years? Will this matter when I'm on my deathbed? You'll realize that it probably won't. And like I said earlier, people will forget their judgments or criticisms of you within 10 seconds to a minute of it even happening. Now, in the case of talking to the girl, it might be a couple seconds of uncomfortable rejection, or it could have been the best decision you ever made, right? And you don't know. The future is untold, and it's up to you to be able to go and find it. Okay, number 3, accept that people won't like you, and that's fine. Find your own tribe. People not liking you is inevitable, and it's not personal. Everyone has people who they just don't really resonate with, and that's okay. It's okay. Let it go. Let go of any identity that you're clinging to and just be the person that you are. Let go of any feelings of needing to fit in. If you want to do something, if you want to be something, if you have these interests, just be that and be authentic about it, right? Being authentic attracts the right people and repels the wrong ones. Why would you want to spend time with people who aren't a best fit for you anyway? You know what I mean? Your environment is everything. It's your time. It's your life. Freedom comes from being okay with this reality. That's freedom, is to be able to say, I'm into Dungeons and Dragons and spend time with people who are in Dungeons and Dragons, and you're not going to care so much about what the jocks think of you. On your weekends, you can spend your weekends however you want to. What you think is funny is funny. Some people might not think so. Other people will. Find those people. Be authentic. Life's too short not to be. You really get to be free once you become okay with not being liked. You really do. Not everybody's going to like you, like I said, and that's great. That's fine. Not everybody needs to like you. There's 9 billion people on this planet or something like that. And out of those 9 billion people, I can guarantee you some people think you are super funny and super awesome and super everything. That leads me to number 4. Everyone else is taken, and there's only one you. So be you. You are really, really cool. I promise that. I don't know who you are, but I know that you're cool. Okay? When you're tripped up over what people think or hoping that people like you, you're, number 1, not being authentic. So even if they do like or accept you, you're not being you, and what fun is that? Okay? And number 2, you're telling yourself and your subconscious that other people are more important than you. Okay? People pleasing is an admission of low self-worth. So you really want to work on getting a higher viewpoint of yourself. That will help you accept yourself more. Be grateful for yourself, your health, your appearance, all the things that make you, you. Otherwise, you may always be tied to the opinions of others. And that's a fucking prison. Because this universe and everything and everyone in it is a mirror. You get back what you truly think of yourself. Caring what people think and people-pleasing is a sign that other people are more important than you. And when your subconscious recognizes that, then you have this lower self-worth and you begin to cling to the approval of other people. You begin to please other people. You put other people above you. You put other people's needs and desires above yours. And that's not a healthy place to be. You'll continue to see evidence of that showing up in your life, the events that happen, the circumstances that you go through, how others treat you. Everything is reflections of how you view yourself. Okay, so when you show up to the universe that you don't have priorities or values or a high self-outlook, it's going to give you more things to prove that right. The promotion doesn't go to the brown noser who shows up every day and kisses ass and rolls over to the boss. No, those are the people that get stomped on. It goes to the strong person, the confident one, the person who values themselves and their time and doing their thing. Right? Tom Brady became the GOAT because he prioritized football and himself over being liked by other people. So you have greatness in you, and you have a gift, and you have your purpose. And the more that you have this low outlook on yourself and try to fit in or please other people or be liked or care about what other people think of you, the more you push that piece of you down and disallow it to come out. You're saying, no. These people liking me is more important than me doing my thing. What these people might think of me is more important to me than me sharing my gift with the world. Okay? It's more important than me having fun. Because as I was mentioning earlier, you're limiting your ability to just have fun. If you like dancing, who gives a shit if someone's watching you dance? Because other people dancing aren't going to judge you dancing. Because they're dancing. It's the people that are standing off into the side that are judging you for dancing. Okay? And so what that means is that they are obviously afraid of being judged because they're standing off to the side. So they're just watching everybody else and making fun of them. And what are they doing? They're seeing it through their lens, right? They're worried about what people think about them dancing. So instead, they're just standing off to the side and making fun of people dancing. Okay, number 5, and this is a big one that I see a lot. People talk about being the main character in your movie, not someone else's film extra. But I'm going to go one step further. You're the fucking author, okay? You're not just the main character. You're the author. You're the main character and the author. You're the author writing your own part in an epic fucking movie, okay? Don't give that away. Take the pen, be the main character, and be the author. Write your own scene, go and live it. And that's what life is. It really is. Okay? This is your life. This is your journey. Nobody else's. You get to choose how you want to spend your life. You get to choose how much fun you have. You get to choose what you believe. You get to choose what's available to you, who you spend time with, and who you get to be, period. All of these things are absolutely available to you. It really is, as long as you believe that it is. You want to travel the world? There's people traveling the world. Why not you? You want to write a book? Millions of people have written a book. Why not you? You can do it. You choose to do it. Just say, I'd like to do it, and then just take action towards it. Be the author and the main character. You are gifted. You are really cool. You are the only you. Embrace it. Love yourself. The only opinion that matters is yours. And when you embody that, you'll find yourself having more fun. You'll dance like no one's watching. You'll be in the fun, making memories. You'll be present. You're there. You're enjoying yourself. You go back and you get to look in the mirror when it's all said and done, and you could have had fun, or you could have stayed off to the side and been like, well, no one made fun of me. And I was like that for a long time. But now I realize that I would rather be the one who people are laughing and joking about his stupid dance moves, but I'm going home saying, I had a good time. Because then I also realized that if anybody was thinking I looked stupid, they're not thinking about that anymore. They're back to their own shit. They're not worried about it anyway. Okay? The number one regret people on their deathbed had overwhelmingly was not having the courage to be who they are and to do what they wanted to do. Period. This is your life. It's your life. You get to choose what experiences you have and how much fun you have. Don't put that in the hands of other people, of other strangers, for fuck's sake. Who cares? Pick a song for karaoke and sing. Sing your fucking heart out. You know, ask the girl to dance. Express yourself. Go after what you like. Your image only matters to one person. The only person that you are 100% responsible for throughout your entire life, there is nobody else that you are 100% responsible for your whole life. And when you accept that and stop caring about other people or stop giving other people's opinions power over you, you are free. You are free to attract the people into your life who love you. You get to be authentic. You get to have fun. And then other people are like, God damn, that person's fun as shit. I want to hang out with them more. You're not trying to be anybody else. You're like, this is me. Somebody doesn't like it. It's okay. I'm going to go meet somebody else next weekend or something. So keynote here, the fear of judgment is usually a lot worse than the actual judgment. Okay. And I want you to think back to times where you were worried about someone's opinion or anything like that. How much time did you spend worrying about it? Most people will find that the amount of time they worried about judgment or worried about the outcome is like 5 to 10x more time for one and worse for two. So many people will sit at a bar and want to talk to the girl, and they'll spend 10 minutes worried about what the girl will say or the rejection that might happen. And then maybe they finally go up to talk to the girl and they do get rejected. And they come back and realize like, wow, I spent 10 minutes worrying about getting rejected. I did get rejected and it really wasn't that fucking bad. It's over now. I can move on. So when you get into something, you realize that it's never as bad. as what your mind was making it out to be. All right, so now let's get into what I believe is the golden ticket to letting go of other people's opinions and to really stop caring, okay? This one might require some more diving on your end to look into it, but through my going on 11 years now of reading books and diving into all of this stuff, this is what I see talked about a lot and what I've grown to believe. And it's the golden fucking ticket. We all have the same piece in us. We're all connected. We all have a piece of God or our creator or our universe in us. Wayne Dyer frequently discussed the concept of interconnectedness, emphasizing that individuals are not isolated, but rather all a part of a larger unified whole. Often he called it like the source of spirit or spirit. And he talked about a lot that recognizing this connection is crucial for personal and collective well-being, and that our true nature is fundamentally spiritual. And a lot of other people talk about this. Joe Dispenza talks about this. Eckhart Tolle talks about this. Alan Watts talks about this. It really is pointed to in almost every religion that our true selves are not from this planet. We are spiritual beings in this world having a human experience. And we have a piece of our creator in us. And the same thing that's in me is the same thing in you. It's our consciousness, our self-awareness, our intuition, this knowing. And Wayne Dyer talks a lot about there is a piece of you who already knows everything. And I'll explain that further as well, but we'll get on to the next point of the golden ticket, which is understanding the illusion of it all. Zen teachings, spiritual leaders, philosophers all talk about the illusion of it all, essentially pointing to the consciousness that lives within humans is constantly constructing the world around us. Einstein himself in 1954 said the only explanation of reality is that of some kind of simulation, saying that reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one, but an illusion. But with that, you understand that what is in me is also in you and everyone else. So we all have the same piece in us. If we're all a piece of the creator and just in an illusion with an ego trying to trick us into thinking that this is real so that we can have this human experience, why would you worry about the opinion or judgment of essentially a different looking you? I see that as the golden ticket. When I go around and I see other people, I think that what's in me is also in them. If I'm nervous about doing something or talking to a girl or singing karaoke or standing on stage, instead of differentiating myself in this world, I think about all of us being in this together. Alan Watts talks about an apple tree appling and how a universe peoples. Why would each apple be judging and hating on each other? Because they came from the same source. They're the same thing. And so if the universe peoples like an apple tree apples, we're all coming from the same place. All right, so here's a couple practices to help with getting over the opinions of other people. Simply practice deliberate discomfort. This one you can have a lot of fun with, okay? Because when you go out with the intention of making yourself embarrassed or uncomfortable, it can be fun, right? Intentionally go do mildly embarrassing things. Get yourself out of your comfort zone. I go back to what I said earlier about it's the thought that actually is more scary than doing it itself will ever be. The thought of singing in public, if you're afraid to sing in public, that is so much worse than when singing in public is over. You're actually like, that kind of sucked for a couple minutes, but now it's over. And you're like, oh, that wasn't as bad. I've been worrying about it for 10 years, but it wasn't that bad. Speaking on stage, it might be terrifying, just the thought of it. When you actually do it, it's like, oh, okay, well, that's not as bad. And you also start to realize that people in those scenarios aren't hoping that you suck. Nobody goes to listen to someone speak and go, man, I really hope this sucks. I really want it to be a waste of my time. So no one's really against you. And if they are, then fuck them. Get rejected. It's just like a salesman. A salesman learns how to deal with rejection, right? Get rejected by people if you're dating. You know what I mean? It builds tolerance. All this stuff builds tolerance. It helps break down the wall that says being embarrassed equals danger. Because basically your nervous system is like, being embarrassed equals death. It's dangerous. But once you do it, you're like, okay, it's really not that bad. And then you can start to overcome it. Build self-compassion. Don't be so hard on yourself. Talk to yourself like you would a good friend. You know, so many of us, our self-talk, if we spoke to that like another person, they would never hang out with us again. Be compassionate to yourself. Treat yourself with the same kindness that you would show a good friend. Let your inner critic take the back seat for once. This was one that I worked out in therapy because I had a huge inner critic for years. I gave my inner critic a name. I visualized it. And then when I started seeing it talking to me or kind of taking the wheel, I was like, whoa, all right, let's get in the back seat here. I'm driving now. You know what I mean? So practice forgiveness when you make mistakes. Mistakes are okay. They're great, actually. That's part of being a human, is mistakes. You mess up. You screw up. You embarrass yourself. It happens. That's okay. You're human. Everybody else is human. Be human. Practice detachment. Detach from any kind of outcome or any expectation. Detach from the opinions of other people, the criticisms, the judgments of other people. It doesn't matter. And realize that the more you try to please everyone, the more you actually please no one. People always take people pleasers for granted. You get walked on. You get taken for granted for. You never get promoted when you're a people pleaser. You always get looked over. You're second fiddle all the time. You're just there. And when you're just there, willing to just be there for people, you get taken advantage of. So come up with your own values. What do you actually value? What do you prioritize? And do that and act accordingly. That'll change the way that you actually act and show up in the world. When you say, these are my values, here's how I see myself, and here's how I act. You don't got to tell anybody that. You just act that way. Value number 1 is X. Value number 2 is 3. Value number 4 is this. And then that's how you act. That's how you go about yourself. That's how you conduct yourself. And make sure that you are on that list, that you prioritize yourself. People pleasing and caring what others think is a prison that we build ourselves. The key to freedom is understanding that you're not responsible for managing other people's emotions or their opinions or their reactions. You can't even control them. And they're looking through it at their own lens anyway. So you can only control your authentic response in life. So when you stop trying to control how others see you, you finally get to discover who the fuck you actually are. And that is a very liberating feeling. I hope you stuck with me this far. I hope you got a lot from this. I really do. I love this shit. And I'm going to be here twice a week at least for foreseeably ever. So please like and subscribe. And if you'd like to learn more about yourself and how you actually view yourself in all 9 areas of your life, then I have an assessment that's linked in the description. It's totally free, and it's just a few questions, and it'll pinpoint how you actually see yourself in all 9 areas of your life. Wealth and career and creativity and relationships and self-worth and leadership, all that kind of stuff. It's a full mindset map. It'll help you overcome obstacles and pinpoint your blind spots. It's totally free. It's in the description below. And give that a go. And have a good fucking day. If you're still with me, leave a comment to say, hey man, I appreciate that shit. And I'll say, hey man, I appreciate you. I'm rambling now. I've been doing this shit for quite some time. Have a good ass day. I'll talk to you later.